Well, good evening and welcome to the first Primetime Live.
Diane Sawyer is now leaving 60 Minutes and the CBS network for a new deal with ABC that will team her with Sam Donaldson in prime time.
Barbara did not know why Diane was hired to start a new news magazine within our home of ABC to compete with 2020. There was a lot of talk about how that being a different 2020, a better 2020, a more live 2020, more energetic 2020. Barbara was unhappy.
Barbara saw herself as someone who had helped elevate ABC News to a pinnacle. That had her feeling betrayed by the Diane arrival. I think Barbara secretly resented Diane for being younger.
Roone pitted them against each other, which was either great management or diabolical.
The depth and wisdom of Barbara Walters and Diane Sawyer's warmth and intelligence.
They were on different floors. Their edit rooms were put aside to another part of the floor, North Korea, South Korea. No members of our staffs talked to each other about what they were working on.
It was just a competitive space to live in.
Diane had booked fair and square Katharine Hepburn. And Barbara, who knew Katharine Hepburn, put a lot of pressure on Kate to unbook and go with her. You know, and Kate said, no, I promised Diane and I will do it with her. And she did.
If I showed up on Mars, she would have a note there with the Barbara Walters stationery, just requesting an interview with anybody who might happen to show.
I never had a conversation with Diane Sawyer about her feelings about Barbara, but I had plenty with Barbara about her feelings about Diane because she was certainly dogged by Diane's very existence. She often said Diane was the perfect woman. She used the word a blonde goddess, this ideal woman, and that she, Barbara, couldn't compete with that. She could work harder, she could know more people, but she couldn't compete with that. The blonde goddess.
She would say, Diane's married to Mike Nichols. I'm not married to Mike Nichols. Barbara, you can marry anybody you want. Her insecurities were really nightmarish.
She couldn't tolerate having Diane Sawyer rise in what she saw as a direct challenge to what she had accomplished. What a sadness. Talk about the death of joy. If Barbara Walters couldn't see what she brought to the party, wow. Let's learn from that, ladies.